Hello again, Lucy and Conrad, and hello, Caleb. Papa is here, and I want to finish that Avengers story titled Power Unleashed. You remember where we left off with our Avengers? Goliath was stuck in his 10-foot body, and he's wandering a dark alley, lonely and depressed. Hawkeye had gone to meet his girlfriend, the Black Widow, not knowing that she's been brainwashed, and she has allied herself with Power Man and the Swordsman to defeat the Avengers. The Wasp is trying to warn the Avengers, but in an accident, she fell unconscious in the woods. And so that leaves Captain America back at Avengers headquarters, and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch too. And so let's catch up with Captain America and see what's going on. See, here he is at the control panel in the headquarters. Without the warning which the Wasp so desperately tried to bring, Captain America is taken by surprise at Avengers HQ. And there's the swordsman with his sword drawn. He says, "On guard, Avenger, we meet again to fight again." "The swordsman," exclaims Cap. "Wasn't one defeat enough for you, mister?" And then he thinks, why would he choose to attack now? Is it part of some larger plan? And I think so, because look over here in the corner. Here's Power Man. He thinks, I'll wait and see how my blade-wielding partner fares before Power Man enters the battle. And so Captain America leaps into the fight. "If it's a fight you're after, fella, I'll see that you get your money's worth." And he leaps, and the swordsman defends himself. Clang! "Blast that ever-present shield of yours. Once I slash that away from you, you'll be defenseless before me." But the swordsman thinks, in his hands, that round metal disc is like the ultimate weapon. I've got to find a way to overcome it. And then from the side, we hear Power Man say, "It seems you can use some help, my friend." "No, stay out of it, Power Man," says Swordsman. Spang! And Captain America thinks, Power Man, is he involved in this too? "It seems I have my job cut out for me." Thang! Fa-ting! Plank! So Captain America defends himself from the swordsman with his shield. And so Captain America thinks, if I can just brush his sword away long enough to land one blow, blang! And Swordsman thinks, what's holding him up? How can he stand such pummeling? But suddenly, Cap thinks, I'm being lifted like a toy. Power Man says, I have seen enough. Only raw strength can defeat this man. Strength such as only Power Man possesses. He's hurling me toward the wall. I've got to go limp, cushion the impact with my shoulder. Ugh, thud. I told you not to interfere, says Swordsman. Nobody tells Power Man anything, so the two villains are fighting with each other. And here comes Captain America again. You arrogant fool, says Swordsman. Even with all your much vaunted strength, you couldn't put Captain America out of action. With his agility and athletic prowess, he took the blow in stride. And now, look out! And Captain America slings his shield. I wondered when we'd be hearing from you again, strong man. Here's a welcome present for you. Whack! The shield strikes Power Man and knocks him back with the force of the blow. But to Power Man, such an attack is no more damaging than the throwing of a tin can at the side of a tank. Power Man thinks, he's like a great human fighting machine, talking about Cap, turning from one side to the other without even breaking his stride. Oh no, says Cap, I saw that lunge, Swordsman. This time, thinks Power Man, I must give him no chance to make another move. Even the mighty red, white, and blue Avenger cannot face two directions at once, and so a split second later, Power Man grabs him. Got you! And Swordsman says, perhaps this way is best. In time, he might have defeated us both. And now, says Power Man, I shall not relax my pressure until you've lost consciousness. And sure enough, Captain America ends up in prison. And so it is that the dauntless adventurer wakes up sometime later to find himself imprisoned in a dark, desolate dungeon. He thinks to himself, if anything can keep a fellow from getting a swelled head about his own ability, is fighting two characters like Power Man and his sword-slinging buddy. Well, sitting here and philosophizing won't get me out of this place, but contacting the other Avengers might. If my luck held out, they didn't think to examine my wrist underneath my glove. And so he looks under his glove, and sure enough, there's a transmitting device. Great, my communicrystal is still intact. Avengers assemble! Mayday! Mayday! In the heart of the sprawling metropolis, Quicksilver hears it's from Cap. He's been imprisoned in a dungeon. Enter your costume, Wanda, quickly. Imprisoned, Pietro? Asks Wanda. By whom? No time for that now. We've got to follow the ultrasonic radio signals till we locate him. Thus, seconds later, they're in their car, driving at night. It's lucky Tony Stark fitted our car with a radio beam, receiving and analyzing device. The signal is growing stronger. We must be getting close. At that very moment, a weary, mystified girl finally reaches Avengers HQ. It's the Wasp. It's Janet. She says there's no one here, but there must always be an Avenger on duty. It's our cardinal rule. No one would have left his post unless forced to. It can only mean one thing. I'm too late. The Swordsman and Power Man have somehow struck first. Wait, the message light is on. I've got to decode the signal and learn where they went. Utilizing the Avengers system of electronics, so advanced that only its designer, Tony Stark, can fully comprehend it, the Wasp quickly learns what she must, and then she says, my best hope is Hank. I've got to reach him. I've just got to. No matter where he may be in the city, he'll be sure to receive our Mayday signal, which goes out on these radio waves. And he must answer. No matter what else, he'll always be an Avenger, just as he'll always be the man I love. And then here's Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. That must be the place. Wait here, Wanda. I'll go first, in case it's a trap. Careful, Pietro. Even your great speed is not infallible. Oh, where did he go? Whiz! And he disappears in a flash of speed. No matter where Cap may be hidden, by traveling at top speed, I should find him in seconds. Up ahead, a stairway leading to a dungeon. And so he speeds down. Quicksilver, cries Cap. I knew you'd reach me. Cap, you're all right. Well, as all right as a man can be who's locked in a stone cell. Wait, behind you, look out. Pietro sees a sliding wall closing down. I've got to reach it before it... It dropped like a thunderbolt. I'm trapped also. Thoom. We've done it, says Swordsman. Now all we need to do is wait for the impatient Scarlet Witch to come this way. Quicksilver says, harm one hair of my sister's head and I swear you'll pay for it. But Power Man retorts, you're in no position to threaten anyone, Quicksilver. But don't worry, harming females isn't our style. Black Widow whispers, quiet, I hear her approaching. And here comes Scarlet Witch. She thinks, Pietro should have signaled me by now. What could have happened? I've been waiting for a chance to try some of the weaponry the Mandarin added to my sword, says the swordsman. And look, he's got buttons all over his sword. I'll start with a little electroshock blast. Zip. Okay. Ha! I thought it would neutralize her hex power. Oh! And Wanda passes out. There's danger here. I mustn't black out. If I can just hurl my hex at that did it. By the time she wakes up, the Avengers will be helpless. Get a move on, says Power Man. If she's too heavy for you, I'll carry her. But Swordsman says, the poor kid, she seems so frail, so helpless. Black Widow says, so does an asp until it strikes. So far, says Power Man, your little plan has worked perfectly, lady. But tell me, why do you hate the Avengers so? Swordsman asks, I too have wondered about that. What is your motive for trying to destroy them? Black Widow says, I can think of no definite reason, yet strangely enough, I am consumed by a burning hatred of them. That's, of course, because she's been brainwashed to turn against her former friends and allies. But, she continues, we have more urgent matters to discuss. I must soon phone a certain number so that some specialists will come to brainwash our prisoners. What a victory it shall be when they finally agree to turn against the free world and serve us. They're going to try to brainwash the Avengers. Good luck with that. Us? Who do you mean by that? You shall both learn when the time comes. Now I will offer Hawkeye one last chance to serve us. And she thinks, for some reason, I cannot bear the thought of any harm coming to the daring archer, even though I have been taught that he is my enemy. But before she can make another move, crack! The heavy oak door, it's been shattered by a single blow. And here comes Goliath. Even at 10 feet, he's still plenty strong. And then, a sight too long absent from the annals of adventuredom is seen, the awesome attack of Goliath. The Avengers, he cries, where are they? Speak before I tear this place apart. Swordsman realizes it's one of the original Avengers. He's 10 feet tall, says Power Man, but I'll whittle him down to size. You fools, said Goliath. Do you think I'm playing some sort of game? I gave you your chance. Now you'll learn that no one can mock an Avenger. And so he grabs a door. That sword can't stop a man who can lift almost anything in sight to use as a buffer. Power Man says, move, swordsman, he's got to be mine. But Black Widow realizes the giant is too powerful, too angry. I must help defeat him if I can reach the proper electronic controls in time. In the hands of Power Man, even a simple wooden pole can become a most potent weapon. Bach! Okay, Muscles, you've had your say. And now I'll have mine. Crack! And Goliath pows into Power Man. Power Man was staggered, but he's about to strike back again, says Black Widow. However, I can take no chances. Goliath is too powerful to trifle with. I've got to unleash an ultra-wave electrobolt at him. And so she reaches for the control panel. But here comes the Wasp. Not if I can help it, you won't. Fatick! And so the Wasp comes along, and with her Wasp's sting, she strikes the Black Widow, who claims, what? Who? What's going on? If you're interested, I answer to the name of Wasp, and this time I've got my sting, or have you already noticed? Black Widow thinks, the Wasp? Where did she come from? Oh, and so isn't it interesting? We have two insect ladies fighting against each other, the Wasp and the Black Widow. Now to become full-sized again and find the switches that will open the dungeon gates. So she grows to her full size. Thus, seconds later, Quicksilver realizes the wall's been raised. I'm free. At last, my chance to strike back again. Creak! As the door opens and Hawkeye cries out, Cap, are you there? You know it, Avenger, says Cap at the door. Let's go. Meanwhile, a short distance away, Swordsman is using his sword again with his mighty weapons that Mandarin installed. These flames emitted by my sword's hilt will hold you at bay till I get within striking range. You've got just one weakness, Swordsman. You depend too much on your blade. Who said that? Quicksilver. Who else do you know speedy enough to extinguish a blaze by merely racing past it? And I might as well give you a small memento while I'm at it. Crack! And so Quicksilver speeds by. He puts out the flame and he knocks out Swordsman. Arrgh! In his best pirate lingo. Nothing can save you now, you blasted giant, says Power Man, sneaking up from behind. While behind a Goliath, Power Man lifts a heavy oaken chest as effortlessly as though it's made of cardboard. And wick! Here comes Captain America. He slices it with his shield. Huh? Asks Power Man. Wrong, mister. Captain America's shield can stop you. You, exclaims Power Man. How long do you think that puny shield of yours can fend off the full fury of Power Man's attack? Rock! And he throws something at Cap. I don't know, but this is as good as any to find out. So he holds up his shield and deflects Power Man's weapon. As for the swordsman, unable to strike Quicksilver with his blade, he resorts to the many devices within his sword's amazing hilt, including stun gas. And Pietro stops just in time. I almost raced into it. I'm getting tired. How much longer can I keep up the pace? But a lightning-swift arrow suddenly gives Pietro the respite he needs. Fit! Here comes the arrow striking at the blade, and Swordsman realizes, Hawkeye, he's free again. Leave him to me. I'll break him in two, says Power Man. Your breaking days are over, strong man. As of now, enter Goliath, who grabs Power Man. That's all Power Man can say. That's whatever. And so Swordsman says, let him go, Goliath, or my blade will finish you forever. Not likely. Swordsman, one of these days you'll learn that threatening an Avenger is like walking backwards into a buzzsaw, which is not something I would recommend. Good work, Goliath. And now, let's all say it together. Avengers, assemble! It's time for Operation Mop-Up, says Cap. But behind them comes a whisper. Power Man, Swordsman, behind you, quickly. Goliath says, heads up, there's a door opening in back of them. Don't worry, Shorty, says Hawkeye. My arrows can follow wherever they go. But then, almost with the speed of light, laser beams. Stand back. It's death to follow them. And Power Man says, we'll meet again, Avengers. That was a great exit line, muscle bound, but you wasted it. You're not going anywhere. Let her fly, partner, says Cap. But then the master bowman sees the lovely Black Widow in the line of fire between himself and his targets. And slowly, tremulously, as though having a will of its own, his arm lowers, the arrow still unfired. Black Widow says, it worked. I knew his love for me would prove his undoing. Once we're around that corner, we'll be safe. Hawkeye realizes, I can't do it. Not to her, no matter what. I just can't. All right, Winghead, sighs Hawkeye. Say it. Go ahead, say it. This is one time I got it coming. But Cap says, there's nothing to say, fella. We're all Avengers, yes, but we're also human beings with feelings and emotions. You did what you could. No man can do better than that. And Hawkeye thinks to himself, that's the guy I've been writing for months. I wish the ground could swallow me up right now. And so Hawkeye begins to think better of Captain America. Welcome back, Goliath, says Cap. You fought the good fight, and now it's time for us to return to HQ and take a breather. A breather? Yes, answers Goliath. A time to settle back and return to normal. Except I can never return to normal. Never again. And so he walks away. Hank, cries out Jan. I'll be all right, Hank answers. You go ahead. I'll catch up later. I wouldn't fit in the car anyway. And Cap says the most powerful Avenger, and yet he's also the most tragic. And Pietro adds, doomed to spend a lifetime like Gulliver among the Lilliputians. Do y'all know that story? Gulliver's travels and he lands on an island full of very small people where he is a giant and others are small. That's how Goliath feels. Well, next issue, another startling new development in the glory-studded career of the mighty Avengers. We most earnestly suggest that you obtain a copy. Enough said. Well, the good news is Papa already has a copy. And so when it's time for another Papa video, I'll bring out the next story and we'll share it together. I hope y'all enjoyed this two-part story with the Avengers and Power Unleashed. I'm sure we'll see more of the Black Widow and Swordsman and Power Man, and the saga of Goliath will continue. And hopefully we'll see that he figures out how to return to normal. But that's for another story. All right, y'all. Papa loves you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.